What's going on? My name's Donte Harris. I am sitting down with a good friend and a fellow entrepreneur, if you will. Would you consider yourself? Not important. So, but no, seriously though, we just want to sit down, and I think that there are a lot of people who are on the cusp of trying to figure out if they should work for someone or if they should work for themselves or what in life they should be doing. And I know that Joy is a fantastic entrepreneur. She's a photographer, independent photographer. Is that what it's called? Or freelance?
Freelance.
It felt good when I said independent. Yeah. A little bit.
It sounded good.
I should have just ran with it. I think like now people can feel like my skepticism. Anyway, she's a freelance photographer, and I wanted to share a little bit about her story. I'm not going to tell it, she is, but I wanted to just hear about it and share it with everyone. And I think this is going to be extremely encouraging for people. I think this is something that you definitely want to tune into. So Joy, tell us who you are, what you are, right? Because if I don't get it right, you will. And how you got to be here today.
Yeah, awesome. I'm Joy. One of the things that I do is photography. That's like my full-time gig for the last 5 years. Okay. And before I was doing photography, I was actually a server.
What?
Yeah, I was a server at the Cheesecake Factory.
So you know what ramekins are?
Yeah, I know what ramekins are.
That's right, Kevin Gazitua.
And so I was paying for college, waitressing, and that was never the long-term dream. It was just something I was going to do to save up, get through college. Yeah. And then I had another dream of owning a coffee shop.
What? And so in like between, Arabica coffee?
Like what?
That's an Ohio thing. Keep
Sorry,
going.
I don't know Ohio. So before doing photography, I had actually gotten this job as a manager of a coffee shop. Okay. And I did that for a few weeks. It was super, super hard, mostly because of the leadership. And so they ended up downsizing. I was a part of the people that they had let go of in the transition. And I found myself in this place of not having a job. And here I was thinking, like, I just got one of my dream jobs and that fell through. So now what? Yeah. I don't want to go back to waitressing. That was for a season. I did it for a bunch of years. And I had a friend who reminded me, like, you love photography, Joy. That's something that you've always done. And she reminded me that I would always say, what if I started my own photography business? Wow. And she was basically just saying, now's the time to do it. Go for it. And so I went all in. Literally, it was the very next day. I remember I showed up to a coffee shop when they opened, and I was there until they closed. Track 5 Coffee in Cranford, New Jersey. I was there from opening till closing, and I built my website. I ordered business cards. I uploaded photos, created a portfolio, and I just went for it. Dang. And took a bunch of online classes, master classes about business, because I didn't know a lot about business. I was confident in my ability to take photos. I wasn't confident in my ability to run a business. And so I just got to a place where I felt, okay, I'm going to teach myself. I can learn this, though. It's not enough that I shouldn't go for it. And so you look like you have a question.
No, man, I'm like flabbergasted. Like, I just think that is so, like, that's an entrepreneurial spirit, right? Like, I don't know this. I need to learn it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait for someone to teach me. Yeah. Like, that's the go-getter mentality that the world teaches us, but it's really and truly like it's embodied in like the 120 seconds you just took to share that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning. I say always be learning. You should always be learning.
Always be closing. Oh. It's ABC.
ABC, always be closing.
Sales.
ABL, always be learning.
That's not how the alphabet goes, though.
Okay, you're right. But
you have a friend that reminds you how much you love photography, and they tell you, go for it. When was it that you decided photography was your thing?
When I was 18, I went to the Philippines for the first time, and I did like photojournalism type work. And I remember sitting and talking with families and kids and saying to myself, I was like, wow, I would love to do this full time. If only I could get paid to do this. And then years later, when my friend had told me, it just felt like it's time. It just felt like it's time. I don't know how to do it, but it's time. And so I went all in. I went all in from then.
At the coffee shop?
At the coffee shop, yeah.
Have you done any work for that coffee shop?
I have. Yeah, I worked for them. I was a barista there.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good people. But I'll say, like, I love telling people stories. And so that's what I get to do with photography, whether I'm doing it in another country or I'm doing it on a wedding day, or if it's a couple that just got engaged. I want to know that story. I want to understand them. I want to know their story so that I can capture that in the most authentic, genuine way.
Wow. So I've like never sat down with a photographer before.
You're welcome.
And like talked in depth, like what it is that you do, right? And I mean, I have friends that are photographers and I have friends that are business people, and like just to hear it explained that way, it honestly, it's like breathtaking, because like it just shows how much passion you have behind it. And I think that's why, one, I already feel like you're successful at this, but you're only going to get even more successful, and you're only going to the story that you're sharing for people is a story that they can't do it on their own. And so the way that you're going to share it and the way that it's going to impact so many other people, it's just downright dope.
Thank you.
Like I don't have a better word for that. Like it's legit just dope.
Thank you. I think it's an honor to be able to photograph anybody, especially on their wedding day. At any moment when somebody is asking me to photograph anything, it's an honor for me.
Yeah.
Because what I'm doing is I'm creating a lasting memory. Wow. And so I take that really seriously.
Do you take a lot of selfies?
I don't take too many selfies, no.
Okay.
If you got to scroll back to like 2017 to see selfies. Wow. Yeah.
I don't know, man. We're going to
Maybe
check your phone later.
Maybe 2019.
No, you already said 2017. We got receipts. Okay, so what's next? Like, what's your vision look like for your business and for your future?
Yeah, so right now, thank you for asking. I'm transitioning from focusing on weddings and couples. It's still something that I'll do. I want to do more so journalism work with photography. Okay. And so I'm partnering with different organizations right now, traveling internationally to document what they're doing so that they can share with their network, their donors, and that so that they can share the story of what they're doing,
right,
and the vision of what they're doing here back on the mainland.
That's incredible. By far the most, like, this guest has impacted me the most out of by far out of anyone that we've had.
Wow.
Sit down, without a doubt. I hope you're encouraged. I hope you're inspired by Joy's story, and I'm super excited to see what's next for you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Please come back. We'll wait another 4 weeks if you go to Mexico, for sure.
I'll come back. I always come back.
Dope. Well, thank you. Thank you again for coming on.
Thank you
for tuning in. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and go get it.